What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we are here to talk about my man V2 Zoro. So in today's video, we're going to be taking him in to challenge all of the 10-star difficulty GARP challenges, Whitebeard, Enel, and also the Navy difficulty. Not the same team though. I think it's a little bit tricky for Zoro to do that, but in this video you'll see how he's able to go ahead and deal with those three 10-star difficulty GARP challenges. It's pretty awesome, and this unit, I gotta say, is actually a lot of fun to use, despite the fact I don't think he's the best unit ever. I don't think the 6+ did a lot of favors for him, but he's definitely a solid unit, I must admit. Plus, there's a lot of good hybrid opportunities that you have with this guy, as you guys are going to see in this video today. But before we get into that, I want to quickly go over this unit and talk about him real quick. Now, just a reminder that he does have a limit break expansion that I do not have. This is the base level without the expansion, so let's go ahead and go through him. So he's obviously int slasher driven. Captain effect is going to boost your slasher's attack by 3.25 with a 1.5 health boost, reduces damage taken by 10%, which is very nice, and then makes dex and int slots matching to your slashes, and it also will go ahead and give your characters an extra boost if they have that dex or int slot. So it's a 1.3 times boost, and then also will boost the chances of you landing on a dex and int slot. So meaning if you do have a dex or int slot, you are going to be having a 4.225 times multiplier boost. So you think with a multiplier with a 4.225 plus a huge health boost plus damage reduction, lots of matching slots, in theory, this should be a good captain effect, and you guys are going to see how it performs in this video today. Now, of course, with his expansion, he does get a slightly higher attack multiplier, which is nice to see. Now, his special ability at 14 turns, I believe with his expansion, he does get a bit more cooldown. 14 turns is quite steep, but it does 200 times his attack in tireless damage to all enemies, and makes slasher characters' recovery and tandem slots have matching slot effects for 3 turns, so nice to have beneficial orb enable. And then boosts slasher characters' attack by 2.25 for 1 turn, and then you got to hit 3 perfects, and then you get another 2.25 times attack boost in the following turn. It's nice for sure. It is annoying that you have to like hit those perfects. Really kind of annoying, but because it is structured this way, it means that he does have really good synergy with Halloween lore, for example, which I definitely use in this video today. I don't like the fact that he does that much damage with his special, because if you're doing damage to the enemy, sometimes it can be a little bit tricky to get those 3 perfects in order to get the boost in the following turn. So that definitely is a little bit of a problem, but if you are able to get the boost for multiple stages, it's ridiculously useful to have. So that's just the breakdown of the regular unit. I mean, as a sub as well, he will completely resist special bind, essentially. You know, it's 10 turns of special bind removal. And then also, slasher characters' dex and int slots will be counted as beneficial. That's also a really, really nice effect to have. But anyways, that's the full breakdown of Roronoa Zoro V2. So let's go ahead and jump into the breakdown of him clearing all 3 of the 10-star difficulty GARP challenges as a captain. So taking Zoro into the Whitebeard challenge, this is the only of the 3 challenges in this video where we use double Zoro as the captain. The other 2 against an Enel and also the Navy challenge, we actually use a hybrid captain just to make things a little bit easier. You know, Zoro's captain effect is fine though. You know, the amount of HP that he provides is pretty substantial. Obviously, you know, the other thing is if you are despaired, that is going to be quite a problem because the despair will remove such a big portion of your HP. Luckily, Zoro can hybrid up very well with the Halloween legends, Halloween Lore, Halloween Shanks, and also Halloween Mihawk. Partners up very well with those characters, specifically Lore in that example as we're talking. You know, if you're despaired, you know, Lore can resist 10 turns of that, which is fantastic. If you need to get rid of paralysis, you could go ahead and use Mihawk as the friend captain instead. And the really cool thing about Mihawk is he has that super type where you can get that full board of matching slots. But anyways, I digress. Let's talk about this specific team versus the Whitebeard challenge. Now, the thing about the Whitebeard challenge is you need that unit to remove the attack down, and then eventually you'll have to deal with paralysis and the chain lock. And like, Barkride is the best unit for that for the int team because she removes all 3 of those debuffs, and her cooldown's relatively low, especially when once it's fully expanded. And then you can have the support of what's his face, Guild Tesoro, to give you the chain lock against Curiel on the first activation. So even though Barkride is not a slasher, I wanted to use her anyway, and just as long as the rest of the team were going to be slashers, it wouldn't have been that big of a problem. One thing to note though is that Zoro does not have slot bind reduction, so you do have to rely on your other 4 units on the boss stage to get matching slots to utilize orb boosts in order to actually get through the content. We also have Iron as well. Iron's going to be quite useful for us because we can go ahead and use her special ability against Jozu to remove the increased defense and the % damage reduction. With double special activation, we can remove up to 4 turns of that, which is quite good. And because we have two Zoros, one is our captain and one is our friend captain, we essentially get 4 turns of boost, so long as we are hitting our perfects between those turns. So that's quite nice that we have so many different turns of buffs here. I wanted to get a little bit more damage off on this particular stage. As you'll see, I end up using the Zoro special here. I wasn't too comfortable, you know, going in with the special on the previous turn. I wasn't too sure if I had enough damage to kill both of them. Looking back at it, I probably did, which would have given me more overall damage, because what we'll be doing here on the Jozu stage is by activating both of our iron specials, we can get rid of the increased defense and % damage reduction. It leaves him open. We do have our attack boost still from Zoro from the previous stage. However, I go ahead and use V1 Mihawk, which is a character that I hadn't used in a really long time, and he actually works very well for these GARP challenges, because normal attacks only is basically non-existent in these GARP challenges. You know, in a perfect world, I would have actually liked to have used it against Vista and Marco, but that is like the only stage that actually has normal attacks only, so that does kind of suck. But either way, even though, you know, we do have to use Mihawk a little bit earlier, we could have potentially saved it for a bit later as well, which is definitely something that could have worked, but I ended up just going for using Mihawk to kill out Jozu, because he's quite a pain if you don't have good boosts. Moving on to the Marco Vista stage, because of the debuffs that we do receive, we're going to use the Baccarat to remove them, give us an orb boost, which will give us enough damage to take down Vista, no problem. If we were going full on, we could have legit just killed both of these guys in one turn, but I did want to go ahead and wait to remove the normal attacks only, so that when we use the Zoro special on the final stage, it does give us his damage from his specials. I just wanted to make sure I could guarantee the kill on the final stage. You know, if you get the orb boost against the Marco Vista stage, it's nice to attack Vista first, because with normal attacks, you're going to have a lot of an easier time taking on Marco instead, right? And then final stage, we launch both specials, we attack, and then because of the way that Zoro and Law are used, we do get a boost in the following turn as well. I have the Perona support to guarantee us the matching slots on the final stage. Very good support unit to have for any Mihawk character if you're using V2 Zoro as your captain. And from there, it's pretty much over. So that's going to wrap up this one, and I'll catch you guys at the Enel challenge. Alright, so let's move on to the Eneru challenge. This time around, we are going to be using, once again, Halloween Law and the Halloween Mihawk. Now, Halloween Mihawk was not used in the previous clip, but I'm using him this time around. Amazing hybrid captain with Zoro. We are still using Law, though. Law as a sub is so good. We have the Corazon support to get rid of any turns of Bind and Despair as soon as it gets inflicted to us, which of course is going to be on stage 2 against the Skypian mob characters. And Mihawk's going to be great here because we do get paralyzed on stage 3, so having his captain effect to resist that is really nice to have. And once again, we're using V1 Mihawk. Mihawk is just such a solid unit because I really wanted to go ahead and use some type of unit. I basically had like an open spot on the team and I wasn't really too sure who I wanted to bring, and I felt like it needed to be a unit that would help just take down a mob stage very easily. And you know, looking at all of these characters, V1 Mihawk was just a really solid option. Though, you gotta remember, if you're gonna be using Mihawk, you need to make sure that in the turn prior to doing the Mihawk special, that you do a lot of damage. And, you know, in order to do that, you know, it just made a lot of sense to go ahead and do our major burst turn against the Wiper stage, and then go ahead and use Mihawk stage on the stage with Shura, and I can't remember the name of the other mob character there, which I believe is stage 5. Now, the thing about stage 5 as well, once we get to it, is we get hit with special reverse, which obviously is a big downer, but I have Galette on this team. Now, Galette initially was just going to be here to reduce the cooldown of another character to then use their special on that stage. She'll have a 3x chain lock, and I'll also have whatever boost the other character was going to be. But luckily for us, you know, Mihawk, we just do so much damage against Wiper here. We just are able to kill in one turn, which is dope. We do go ahead and use the Zoro special here to give us the 2.25 times attack boost, and I do have Koshiro support attached to him, which will go ahead and give us a 0.7 times chain multiplier boost. So we have the chain boost and the attack boost, and we do have matching slots, which is quite nice here. If I didn't have matching slots, I probably would not have been able to get as much damage as I would have liked to have gotten. But you know, I could have done some normal attacks and then used the special. It really does depend on what type of situation you're in at the time. But if you guys have seen any of my clips against the int version of versing Enel for this GARP challenge, the Halloween characters are so good, because you can use both Mihawk and also Lore Special, or you could use Zoro and Lore Special, depending on, you know, what you want to do. You can use both of those unit special abilities on the stage prior, on stage 6, carry their buffs into the final room, and as long as you have some type of way to get rid of the stun debuff, you're good to go. And that's probably why you guys are asking, why do we even have this Robin on the team? Is because we have the support of Crocodile, the rare recruit int Crocodile, which attaches to Robin, and on the final stage removes special bind on the unit, and also gives them special cooldown too. So we use the Robin special to cut our health down to 1, which, you know, obviously doesn't mean that much because we're able to kill in 1 turn anyway. And we will have our full board of matching slots thanks to the Perona support once again attached to Mihawk, so we're guaranteed to get a full board of slots on the final stage. Something that I haven't even talked about as well is we are using the Aura Jackson ship, which is great for our slashes, and it makes recovery and tandem matching all the time. Now, of course, with Zoro's special, he does already make recovery and tandem matching, but just having the capabilities of making the matching all the time is really nice to have. I do use the super type on this stage because I'm guaranteed to get the full board of slots on the final stage anyway, so it was just, you know, guaranteeing that damage there, which is great. So in the final stage, we have the Mihawk boost, we have the Lore boost. I do have Tal Nami to give us a color affinity boost as well, and from here, it's just easy going. So I'll see you guys at the final challenge versus Navy. So now we go ahead and move on to the final challenge of this video, which is against the Navy GARP challenge. So for this team, one of the main things that I was trying to kind of wrap my head around is how the hell do I get rid of the hunger debuff on stage 3 with Kobe and Helmeppo? That was definitely one of the major things, because int really struggle with the hunger debuff. They don't really have characters at all. The only legend in the game, or any character in the game, mind you, that actually removes it, that is int, is Legend Bonnie on Japan. So there's no int unit in the game that you can use to get rid of hunger. The way to get rid of it is you have to generate recovery slots somehow on your team. And the way that I'm doing it here is by using Coliseum Smoothie and the support rare recruit Daifuku, which with that support will change adjacent slots into recovery so long as the character that he is attached to is a damage dealing special. So that's great. So we have the guaranteed way to get the recovery slots, and the really good thing here is that we get color affinity from Smoothie. It's not really going to help us too much on this particular stage, but going to be very useful later on down the track on the final boss stage, as you guys will see. Another character that is a bit of a weird one that I haven't used in such a long time is Shanks and Ben Beckman, the treasure map character. They are so good for this particular fight because of their amazing switch ability that can get rid of Bind, Despair, and Paralysis all by 1 turn with their switch effect. And then we also have Corazon support once again attached to Lore, so that when we get through this stage and focus in on the Smoker stage with Hina and Toadskii, we were actually able to remove all the debuffs very effectively. You can see we do use V2 Zoro special here to give us an attack boost against Kobe and Helmeppo, and carrying the attack boost into the Hina and the Smoker and the Toadskii stage. So we have our attack boost, we still have color affinity, but at this point right here we can switch our Ben Beckman back into the Shanks character, and well, technically speaking, we could have probably left it as Ben Beckman, but either way, it doesn't really make that big of a difference. We can use their special ability to give us the 3 times chain lock. Unfortunately, we still have a color affinity boost from Coliseum Smoothie, but with the support of Yasop from the treasure map, we can get our slots randomly changed, and because we have the brand new support, which already will make some of our slots beneficial for us, that will basically give us a lot of matching slots for our team. We have our attack boost, we have color affinity, we have chain lock, the Smoker in the Toadskii stage is very, very easy from that point onwards there. And, you know, Brand New is another character on this team as well. He's a really nice unit because he gets rid of damage threshold. His cooldown isn't too high, and it gives us beneficial orbs. So he's a perfect unit for this fight if you're building a slasher team to take on the Navy challenge, because of the ability to remove that threshold and also to give you beneficial slots so that when you move into the Smoker stage, you don't get given those really badly matching ones. The tandem slots will be treated as badly matching for your team for 99 turns. So Brand New just outright negates that, which is really, really nice to have. You saw that we took down the Kizaru stage very, very simply there by using the Mihawk and also the Zoro special. The Mihawk and the Law special, should I say. And the really good thing about this stage in particular is once you do take down Fujitora, you can stall for quite a long time on these surrounding mobs here. I think you can stall like 8 to 9 turns, something like that. So by the time we actually take all the time of stall, a lot of our specials are going to be back, which is going to help us significantly on the final stage against Akainu. So that is going to wrap up this video today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you go ahead and hit the like button. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.
Daisen Sekai!